Hello YouTube, good day to you. So today taking that motor apart, the one that was in here, so just to get you caught up. So what I did was I took all the turbo stuff off first, and then I took the exhaust off, took the carburetor, the intake off, took the heads off, and that's when we found the burnt piston. If y'all been keeping up with the Facebook page and the shorts, we burn a piston. It was this piston right here, which was in the number 2 cylinder. And see if I can get around here and zoom in. You can see right there. Why is it doing that? Didn't like that. Anyway, you can see right there that it had a blowed head gasket. I would wipe the screen off. Maybe something got on the screen. Yeah, you can see right there. The odd thing about it is the car ran fine. I mean, it had blow by, but it didn't miss. We raced it. I mean, just on 12 pounds of boost, it ran a 5.9 at 118. We did a compression test and it passed the compression test like that. With that piston like that. The you can see that looks burnt. But anyway, I pulled the rings out of that piston. They were all good. All the spark plugs are good. All the cylinders are good. The block's still good. The only thing it got was the piston. That was it. Nothing else was hurt. I'm kind of wondering if some people say timing could have done that, or it could have leaned out, but I mean, unless something happened on that one cylinder, and the only thing that happened on that one cylinder was, I think when it was getting in higher RPM, it was just lifting the head enough, and I think air got in there, leaned it out, and that's what happened. I think that's what happened. But a lot of people will say that you can tell the timing by the bearings, the rod bearings. Now, I don't know how to do that, but here are the rod bearings. That's 1 through 8. This is the bottom towards the oil pan. This is the top towards the intake. But if you guys, is there any tell sign that we had too much timing in it off the bearings? I mean, they look a little rough, but we've got water in that oil. We got water in that oil a few times on accident, and that car's been severely, I don't even know how it holds together. It's been severely overheated 2 or 3 times. I was driving down the road and I was looking at the temp gauge. I was like, did the needle break on the temp gauge? Austin was with me and he's like, oh, I felt water hit my arm. It maxed out that temp gauge, and that temp gauge goes to 300 and something. I don't know how that didn't kill it. And yeah, water in the fuel oil a few times and overheated the crap out of it a few times, and I don't know, we burned a piston. How long that piston's been like that, I don't know. It could have did it when we were still on nitrous. It could have did it when we were on turbo. We don't really know. The car's always had blow by. It got worse and worse. It seemed like it got the worse after them nitrous passes, when we didn't have the suspension set up just right, and it would blow the tires off. And huge flames would shoot out the exhaust. That's when it seems like it started doing it. Maybe it did it on nitrous. Maybe it did it on turbo. I don't know. But at 12 pounds of boost, we're running 28 degrees timing on pump E85, which around here in the summer usually tests 75 to 80. I have a sensor in my car. It actually reads it. And my sensor always reads 75 to 80. But we get the gas, we get them in jugs at the same pump, and the same jugs go in my car that go in Chris's car. So it's 75, 80%. But anyway, I took the motor all the way apart down to the long block, or short block. And then I took this front bumper off so I could get the cherry picker in there far enough. And then my cherry picker pump didn't want to work. Ram jack. I had to go buy another one of those. I messed with that for a whole day. And then I hooked to it, shook the car a little bit. It broke loose from the transmission. I got a jack down there holding the transmission. And then just pulled it right out over here, lowered it down, put it on the engine stand, and rolled it over there. And so I took it apart. I took the oil filter off, the starter and the transmission bolts. I, of course, had to jack up the car and get under there and take those loose. But yeah, that's pretty much it. The wiring, and I took the whole top end apart. I pulled it out with it looking just like that, but the crank and rods and pistons and stuff like that were in it. But this is the cylinder it happened in. Yeah, right here. And see, that's just the shadow. Just a shadow. But yeah, nothing wrong. There's no lip on the cylinders. All the cylinders look good. You can only tell it had a blow gasket by that black spot right there. The rest of them don't have that. And it's on the head a little bit too, but it didn't hurt the head. It didn't hurt the block. The spark plug in that, all the spark plugs look fine. The heads look fine. It didn't hurt nothing but the piston. But here's what the main bearings look like. I figured with that trans brake, it would wear that bearing. But it didn't really wear it, because that's your thrust back and forth. That trans brake, it's usually rough on them, but I did that pump mod where it doesn't shove the pump hard towards the motor. But yeah, we called up Icon. Those are Icon pistons. They're like 2618 alloy, but we called up Icon, and I took the spiral ring out of that one, piston number 1, and I weighed it over here, and it was 552 grams with the wrist pin and the spiral locks. And they had one that was 553 grams. But so we ordered it. You got to be careful when you order these, because when you're looking at the top of the piston, the exhaust valve on this one's to the right, and the intake valve's on the left. Now, some manufacturers go off the intake valve, so this would be a left-hand piston. But according to Icon, they go off the exhaust valve. So this is a right-hand piston. But yeah, skirts are a little wore. But other than that, all the pistons, except for that one, all the pistons, they look good. All of them look good. I looked over the heads. They all look good. The crank, I mean, there's nothing there. In between the rods, usually you'll get a little lip there. I mean, everything looks really good. Let's look at this piston. See? Took the rings out of this one. But yeah, everything looks good on them. They still wobble back and forth good and everything. But oh, knocking stuff over. Yeah, them spiral locks, they are not easy to get out of them holes. But yeah, so I guess we're just gonna, I ordered that piston and a spiral lock to replace that spiral lock, because once you take those out, they're shot. And we bought the rings off Summit, and the particular rings we got, it says to hone with the 270 and then a 400, and a light hone job should be fine for the piston clearance in the holes. And pistons actually are really tight in them holes. And then we'll gap the rings, throw it back together with some new bearings, and maybe lower the timing a couple of degrees across the board on the boost, and maybe a couple of degrees on the RPM table, in the max torque area, and hopefully this won't happen again. But yeah, I wasn't making a whole lot of videos because I was trying to get it apart fast and make sure there wasn't nothing else wrong with it, because Christopher had planned to come down on the 15th and 16th so we could rebuild it together. But that'll be the next video of us rebuilding it. Y'all have a good day, and thanks for watching.